let's talk about athletics because we all know. Let's start with the good side, the easy side, Bernard. Eliud is going back to Berlin on the 24th of September. He's looking to become only the first man to win Berlin Marathon 5 times.
Yeah.
Haile Gebrselassie won it 4. He's won it 4 times. That would be what? 15, 17, 18, and 22. What do you think has made him go back to Berlin? Like, why? Why?
Well, of course, what happened in Boston is something that is definitely in the back of his mind. And then we saw in London how Kiptum came and blew away everyone and became the second fastest marathoner of all time. And I possibly think could be the next athlete who could possibly break Eliud Kipchoge's record. So I think in the back of his mind he was thinking, you know what, I need just to reaffirm who I am.
Yeah.
I'm the king of Berlin. He's going for his fifth title?
Yeah, fifth title, yeah.
Fifth title. Broke the record last year. Just wants to tell, ilikuwa 20109. I just need to reconfirm.
Nipeleke 200 something.
Wacha nifikisha hata labda. I don't know what he plans to do, but
I'm assuming 200 something would be okay. Like because last year I thought it was going to be 20059.
Yes.
That was my target.
Yes.
And I'm wondering whether he feels the need to reaffirm, to reassert himself, which I think is misplaced. I don't think Eliud needs to do anything. I think his status as the best marathoner that ever lived is there for life.
He's undisputed. Yeah, he is.
Because he wanted to compete in all the 6. So he's done Berlin, which he's won. He's done Chicago, which he's won. He's done London, which he's won 4 times. So he's done Tokyo.
Yes.
So the 2 that were remaining were all in the US, Boston and New York. Now he went to Boston, things didn't go according to plan.
Yes.
And then New York is coming up in November. But then New York, he'll probably face the same guys he faced in Boston. So I can also understand the apprehension to going back. I can maybe sort of get it. But also, I think it's a good thing that he's chosen where to go. Because look, Haile did this for so many years.
Yes.
Where he decided, this is where I'm going to go. This is... and Berlin, for the longest, no one else could run in Berlin. It was always Haile's race. And I think when you are the GOAT, you're allowed to... But I'd like to get in his head and know why. Why he's felt... Why has he chosen to go back to Berlin?
Yeah.
Why? What drives him into Berlin? Does he want to push the record further? Does he want to reaffirm and reassert that, guys, I'm the man? Is it that he enjoys Berlin more than any other course?
I think for him, Berlin has put him in the world map in terms of the marathon. He's broken the record twice in the streets of Berlin. I think I don't think there's any other athlete marathoner who's broken the record twice in Berlin.
I'm not sure. I'd have to check whether Haile did it. I'm not sure. Let me not lie to you.
Because it is Tergat who's done it. It is Kenya. I'm thinking about the Kenyans.
Yeah, Kimeto has done it there. Wilson Kipsang has done it there.
There's this other guy, Macau. But Macau
Yes.
has done it as well.
Yes.
It's only Eliud who's done it twice on the same course.
Yes.
And I think, as you said, for him, subconsciously, which is good. It tells you that it's good when something... Because I'm very certain that Kiptum's performance is something that told him to, hey, hold up.
Like, hey.
Hold up kidogo.
Hey.
Wacha tu niwakumbushe
I'm the man.
who I am. So, and the best place to do it is in Berlin. I know most people are hoping that perhaps he would go to the New York Marathon because he hasn't triumphed in the US other than Chicago. So I'm not surprised, but I would have loved if Kiptum was also going to be in Berlin.
Yeah. That's what everyone seems to think. But if I'm Eliud, I'm not running against Kiptum until it's the Olympics. I have earned the right to choose who to compete against. Yeah, and I just don't want to no, it's okay.
It would have been nice. It would have been a nice warm-up.
No.
For the Olympics.
No. You have to protect your turf.
So where will Kiptum go now?
I don't know. There's all sorts of theories about where. Because initially, it was World Championships. He pulled out. And then we said, okay, maybe he's going to go to Berlin. And then he's not in the Berlin. The only other Kenyan who's in Berlin who's of note, I think it's Amos Kipruto.
Yeah.
So I am guessing maybe New York.
Yeah.
Maybe Chicago. If he wants to go after the record, he goes to New York. He goes to Chicago. If he wants to chase, he goes to Chicago because it's a fast course. It's where Bridget Kpchoge set the women's world record. So go to Chicago if you or go to Valencia again, where Kpchoge is also making his debut. I think it's either or. I think chasing the world record might be his thing more than just going to win another marathon major.
Then if that's the case, then obviously for him not to be able to compete in Berlin, perhaps, but that was one of his plans to go there because it was obviously logically the next race that he would have gone to because the time he clocked in London was second fastest.
Yes.
And you see that's in London. And it's very hard to break a record in London. Mostly, the most you can do is a PB, a course record, or a season best. But when in Berlin, he knew for a fact, with this same kind of form that I have, I can be able to break the record. But now, since perhaps he's not going to Berlin, he will say, okay, fine. You know what I'll do? Nipatie ile marathon ile iko.
Iko karibu.
Ile iko karibu na
Valencia, Chicago, let's go.
Taivunjia huko.
I think it's one of those things. Kenya is in such a unique situation where you've got the king, the greatest marathoner of all time in Eliud, and you've got the upcoming upstart, the pretender to the throne, the guy who wants to take over, who's coming and is coming in hard. So the question is, how long can the king continue holding him at bay? I think he's got it in him because look, I never ever discount Eliud. I never. No. He has this zen-like calmness. He has this thing where he just elevates into otherworldly status, where he stops being a normal human being and he just becomes something I don't know. He's the first Kenyan truly global superstar. So I would put nothing ahead of him. I let him go. I just want to see what he's up to in Berlin. Can he push this thing to 2:00:50? Can he break it at that time?
Or to even 2:01 is still an achievement.
I want the 00s. I just because he's done 2:01, 01:09, and it was 2:01:39. So I'm just hoping he can do 2:00:59 or 2:00:49. Just the 2 zeros.
I think just to give it a spice, he might even just do 2 flat.
Now, if he did 2 flat, because I don't know how far we are from a 2 flat. That's the other question.
Yeah.
How far are we? How close are we? He did 1:59:40. Yes.
Yeah. In artificial conditions?
Yes. So can he make up the 20 seconds without the help of the light and the switching pacemakers? I think the main thing is actually the switching pacemakers because they were able to keep him at a constant. Can he do it? I don't know. It may be we may just have gone beyond, but I think he can do 2:00:50, 2:00:47.
But I think what will be very key is, based on what we watched last year in Berlin,
yes,
his second half is what will be very important. Remember, his second half was, I think, under an hour.
Yeah, his second half wasn't. His second, the young man is the one who had a crazy second half. Kiptum in London, like he was going at a crazy pace. Eliud's, I think they could have paced him better last year in Berlin. Before, I think, they could have. I felt like they didn't pace him nicely. I felt like the pace was a bit all over the place. With more even keeled pacing, I think he gets there to the world record. But also, we are a spoiled nation. We think every time Eliud runs, we are looking for a world record. I think we also spoiled. I think, and look, it's his fault. And I said this in Boston early this year. It's Eliud's fault. He's shown us every time he runs, something great happens. So even now, we are all thinking, Eliud's going back to Berlin. No one is asking, will he win? We're all asking, will he break the world record? He has spoiled us. He has done so much. So, like we all go like when Eliud has one bad marathon, everyone is crying.
Then also remember, Kipchoge will also be there. Amos Kipchoge.
Huyo ni non-factor. No offense.
Yeah.
But I think this is Eliud. It's the thing of having a superstar. If it's Eliud or it's Eliud. If Eliud wins, he's the main story. If Eliud loses, he's the main story. Today, if you ask people what happened in Boston, not everyone will remember Evans Chebet, but everyone will remember Eliud was 6th. It's just who he is. He is
a phenom.
He's a global superstar. He is the guy. He's a guy who everyone in the whole world knows and everyone in the whole world appreciates. And I think that's just it. But anyway, we'll wait and see. He's on 24th of September. This one is slightly early. And hopefully he can go on and do the job. Eliud, of course, as always, we wish for nothing but the world record. We wish for nothing but another world record. I have already put out my prayer. 2:00:49. That's my request. Just 2:00:49. And then after that, I have nothing more to ask. We can wait for Paris, where we'll ask for gold. Like I said, you've spoiled us. Not our fault. All your fault.